There is one big problem that is stopping OnlyFans agencies from growing, and I am also guilty of making the same mistake many times. The short version of this problem is that you don't understand what business you're in. And the long version is basically this video. Let's not waste your time, let's talk about it. Also, make sure to join my personal Telegram channel down below and check out techfusion.com. Now let's get into the video. So there are three factors that are going to depend about your growth, right? If you don't understand these three factors and you don't apply them, it's pretty much going to be a nightmare for you to try to scale or grow in any type of way. Let's define each one. Speed. Speed is basically defined as how can I get the things done that are going to make me more money. For example, right, it's much easier and quicker to scale a model that's already making good money and has an established brand than it is to build every single system from the ground up with a new model. And so speed is just looking at where can we cut the curves to making money and eliminate processes that take a longer time. Now let's talk about scalability. Every single business has limits to scalability, and there are different problems that are going to occur at different times at your business. So scalability is having the correct timeline expectations and being aware of what skill sets you need in your current business. Now, you might be scared by those fancy words, but let me explain. In the OFM industry, you're always going to be focusing on three things, and they all include promotion. You're either promoting to fans, also known as chatting or training chatters. You're promoting videos to an audience, aka posting on Instagram, right, getting traffic. Or you're promoting yourself and your services as an agency to other models, so you could sign them and you both make more money. And so complaining about how finding a good model is hard, or complaining that it's hard to build good traffic systems, that it's hard to find good chatters, that's always just going to be a waste of time, right? Because that's going to stop you from scaling, because you're always going to be working on that problem. Because that is the business model. Signing a good model, getting traffic, and chatting is the business model. It is a feature of the business, not a flaw. It's like getting into YouTube and complaining that it's hard to create videos. Well, yeah, that is the business model. Now, what did I mean by the timeline expectations part? Here's a very short story about an interaction I had with a coaching client of mine that's making $150K a month. So he already had great success on Threads and other platforms, but he just couldn't make IG work. He's struggling, so he came to me. And a few days into the coaching, maybe a week, he told me that he hasn't made much, because I usually check in with my clients, right? I'm asking him, hey, what are you doing? How are the accounts? Blah, blah, blah. And a few days in, he told me he hasn't made much progress on the accounts so far and that they're getting poor views. And there were also a couple of other of messages where he was like thinking, I kind of recognized that he was impatient. He was like, can I maybe start paying people to promote me? Can I do this? Can I do that? I don't know. It's kind of not going so good so far. And then this is what I told him. It's important to have your expectations set correctly. He came from Threads, right? Threads is quick to grow, so is Reddit. Instagram growth isn't as fast as Threads. You have to adapt your timeline and expectations. So regarding the poor views, it's important to understand how platforms work so you can get an expectation. The game you're playing is in months. It's not in days or weeks. On Threads, you can blow up quickly. Instagram is a long-term game of building. And on the account he sent me, he literally uploaded just a few videos. And he's been uploading it for like 4 days. So he's basically been trying Instagram for 4 days. And I told him, you have to stick to it for like at least 2 to 3 weeks before seeing any type of real growth, be it small or significant. Because Instagram compounds over time and usually blows up out of nowhere after weeks of consistency, high quality work, right? And he also had the accounts, like they have a few followers. He already funneled some Threads traffic to the accounts. He has an account that has 16K followers, a couple of accounts that have 1 to 3K followers. They're gonna grow. But he just recently changed them fully, changed the profile pic, changed everything. And he's been uploading for like 3 days, 4 days. That's not gonna do much, right? And he kind of told me, I'm actually gonna quote him exactly. He told me, I really appreciate the level of detail in your response, because I sent him, I told him we can even go on a call, but I just wrote it all out. I probably was writing the message for like 20 minutes. I built a whole ass message, huge message that he can read, consume, and he told me, I really appreciate the level of detail in your response because I really went into detail, told him exactly what to do, how to set his expectations, how to stay not motivated, but like not quit and think you're not doing good, like you just started. And he said, it's true that I have a poor understanding of the IG game. I really need to be more patient because he's kind of used to, hey, I start Threads accounts, I'm scaling, blah, blah, blah. In like 2 weeks, you already have a good Threads account. Now, the reason I'm sharing this story is because way too many of you have the wrong timeline expectations. And that is stopping you from achieving your goals. Because you get demotivated if you don't see results in a week. But you're playing the game in months or sometimes even years. And so scalability just comes down to having the correct timeline expectations and then understanding what problems are going to occur in the business and what you're going to have to focus on. Okay? I tried to not spend too much time on these two. Let's actually get to understanding what business you're in. I had to explain these two first. As I said, the OFM business is always promoting. You're always promoting to your fans. You're always selling them content. You're promoting your content to an audience and trying to get their attention. You're promoting your agency to other models so you sign better models. And so if the entire business is promotion/marketing based, that means you're always betting on someone or something. Let me repeat that. If the entire business is promotion and marketing based, you're always betting on someone or something. You're betting on your model, on your chatters, on yourself. And then the question is, why not bet on the best people? And this might seem very simple. Like, of course, you're like, yeah, I want the best model. I want the best chatters. I want to be competent. But of course, it's very hard. It's like chess. It's simple to learn, hard to master. And the thing about this is you don't have to manage 10 models. Like, let me give you an example of like, you're a celebrity manager. Is it better to manage like Leonardo DiCaprio or someone like super duper famous? Or is it easier to manage 100 startup actors that have no idea what they're doing and they don't make any money? Right? It's best to bet on the best people. And so this is a talent-based business. You can't afford to be babysitting bad models your entire day, and then you're teaching them, motivating them, holding their hand at every step. Then they don't want to record content. They don't know how. It takes them like 6 months to even understand what a good video is. And then they don't even want to record them because they're lazy. 100% of your energy is better used if you just focus on signing a better model. So your job then is to find the best talent in order to make your promoting and marketing job easier. Because I see this so many times. I see people that have been in the Onlyfans industry for years, they barely make 10K. And then I see people that just got into the OFM industry and they're already making 50K a month. And most of the time, the only thing that separates them is the models they decided to focus on. Because their chatting systems are usually the same. Like, from my experience, chatting is the easiest system to nail because it's just trial and error and you do a lot of volume because there's a lot of fans coming in. So you quickly learn what works best and you double down on that. And again, the coaching client I gave the example from that I was talking about earlier, he's making 150K. And he's been in the OFM industry for just about 4 months, right? He knows what to focus on. Now, you have to understand what business you're in. And if you want to find out what business you're really in, the framework for that is so simple. To find out what business you're really in, just look at the top people in your industry and see their biggest problem and then solve it, okay? And the top people in this industry, what I found out is they always need 2 things. They need more traffic/promotion, let's say they're the same thing, and they need better systems. And so OFM is a promoting and system-based business. Now, the biggest agencies always manage the best models. Their biggest problems are always more promotion and better systems. So focus on that and solve that big issue, and if you do, you make money. And let me give you an example, a very short story. When I was getting into the software business, that's Take Fusion, by the way, right? When I was making the website of TechFusion, I overthinked about colors, about the perfect font. We had multiple versions of the software. We tried to make everyone happy, like I was overthinking it for hours, for days. I thought all of this stuff was important, and we complicated every single step and just wasted time. We were running ads, trying to promote it on forums. We tried to promote it to every single audience, like drop shippers, this, that, marketing agencies, pretty much everything. And later, we actually found out we're not in the sales, marketing, or the perfect website business. We're actually in the product business, because everyone that needs the software knows about the software. Software pretty much sells itself because people come to it if it promises a solution to their problem. People usually look for the software. People are looking for it because they have this problem. Now, we were the first ever repurposing software in this industry. We created a software for ourselves in early 2023 and started selling it to other agencies. Now, in 2024, around summer, maybe a bit earlier, everybody started copying our product, right? Everybody started coming out with repurpose bots, spoofers, blah, blah, blah. And what happened was that those products actually drew more attention to the repurposing problem, and more people realized that they need a repurposing software. And so the funny thing is that actually boosted our sales and increased our revenue by like over 4 times. And we've never stopped growing since. Like, we're still growing month over month, quarter over quarter. And so more competition actually made us more money and made us realize what kind of business we're in. We realized we are in the product business because these other products drew attention to repurposing. People tried them, their software wouldn't work, and then people would come to us because we had the best product. Very simple. And then they stay with us and use the software because we actually do what we promise. That's how we found out we were in the product business, not the marketing, not the sales business, or having the perfect website business or whatever, okay? And so when we realized we were in the product business, you can then focus on improving your software and making it the best it can be. And that's gonna make you more money. It's not gonna make you money if you change the font on your website, right? And the same rules apply to OFM. Take Derek Brown, for example. He manages over 50K IG pages. Take Sophie Rain's agency. They own dozens and hundreds of IG meme pages, babe pages, alt accounts, everything. They repurpose content. All kinds of accounts that just lead traffic to their models, and they make 40 million a year. Take Brian Adam. He's making around 1.5 million a month, but he still needs more traffic, as that's the thing that's going to increase his revenue. So he's always trying to build better promotion systems. He already has a winning model. That is his girlfriend, right? He has a winning model that he can bet on. But it's always promotion, traffic, better systems. That's always the name of the game. The biggest agencies have those types of problems. And so the only framework all these people follow is bet on the best people, promote and build systems around that. And most agencies I talk to usually have like 1 or 2 stars in their agency that make 90% of the profit, and the other models make close to nothing compared to the main models. And why I think that works is because it's much easier to bet on the best people, build the best systems for them, than it is to bet on an average model and then try to build from that. That's everything I want to talk about. Have a good one.